Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of In Our Prime, a show discussing adulthood and all the adventures you take along the way to becoming an adult. I am one of your co-hosts, Priscilla Loomis, joined by my phenomenal husband, Ken Loomis.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful evening here in Wildwood, New Jersey. We are so grateful to have you joining us again. As you know, we start every topic. It's usually something that is currently happening in our relationship. So tonight's topic is, are Ken and I in our financial prime of life? And we brought this up because the other day, I guess it was Saturday, we had an argument. And Ken and I really don't argue. I will say that. It's something we have discussions. It's focused on trying to hear the other person rather than, stick a knife in and twist it or dig ourselves in a deeper hole or ego or pride. We try to really take that stuff out of the picture. So Saturday morning, Ken was doing our finances. He is the CFO of our relationship. Yes, he is the CFO of our relationship.
That's this guy right here.
I am learning about financial responsibility and how our finances work and budget, investments, all this. I'm learning. Ken is a lot more mature in this area. Is that a good way to say it?
Sure. That works. Yeah, I guess.
And he was doing our finances, and I've been saving a lot of money. I've saved everything. I haven't been shopping. It is necessity over everything. And he said, I paid. The only debt that we have is the house and the credit card.
That's it.
Yeah, we don't have college debt.
Nope.
We don't have a car payment.
Nope.
So it's legitimately our bills are the phone, car insurance, the mortgage, and then like utilities.
Groceries.
Yeah, those are utilities.
We got to eat.
Yeah. So he said, I paid the credit card for this month. And one of the credit cards that we have, and credit card debt, that's how we pay everything. We get the points, all that kind of stuff. So he said, I'm paying off one of the credit cards and it should be done by June. And I thought to myself, well, I have money saved. Let's pay one off. I can put $400 towards the credit card, pay it off. Ken,
I said no.
I didn't even understand I didn't understand why paying off the debt at the time would have been a bad thing. And this is why we argued, because with Ken, he doesn't like change. He likes to stay in his way, and his way is the best way. So then why wouldn't I be able to pay off the credit card?
Because as long as you pay the statement balance off each month, you don't have to pay interest.
But if we could pay it off like I did with the phone, I paid off his phone. I said, if the bill can be lower, let me just pay off the phone. So the reason why I said, if we can get rid of a credit card, why not get rid of it?
And we will next month.
I don't understand what the difference between me paying it now or you paying it next month.
Because I think it's better to have a little cash in the bank in case we need it. Instant emergency. Hey, I need something happen, plumber, whatever. I need $1,500 cash, tomorrow.
Right? And I still have that.
Okay, 2,000, 25. You never know. Rainy day scenario.
We have a rainy day fund.
Okay.
And we also have credit cards for the rainy day, for the emergency.
Exactly. But you still need cash at the end of the day.
Okay, and I still will have cash.
I know that. And by the time we pay this credit card off next month, it'll be fine.
But the fact of the matter is that we could pay it off a month early, and you just don't want to because it's not you.
No, we could pay it off early, but we don't have plethora of cash in the bank. Therefore, if something were to happen tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks from now.
And you think $400 was going to be the big difference between us being successful and us failing in life?
You don't know. You don't know.
We both have credit cards.
It doesn't hurt us.
But it doesn't hurt us to pay it off now.
You don't know if something in the possible future
You can't just live your entire life as what if. Anything could happen. This whole building can fall on us.
Let's hope it doesn't.
I can trip and fall. Everything is a what if. You can't live your life as what if and be in that fear.
It's not living what if for the life. It's properly managing finances.
What if the bill was $400?
What do you mean?
What if the minimum balance to pay it off was $400? You would have to pay it, correct?
I don't follow your logic.
What was the minimum payment for this month?
The minimum is only like $20.
Okay, how much did you put on it?
I paid off the statement balance.
Okay, which was what?
9 something.
Okay, so if I had the extra, what if it was $1,200? 9, 10, 11, 12. Damn it.
Then I would have paid the $1,200.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Something's not making sense to me because I'm trying to help and pay it off and have one less credit card. But because it's not your way, it's because it's not how you planned it. That's what I'm getting upset about.
I understand that.
Because it makes sense. I know this has to make sense.
It makes sense. But since I'm the CFO and I handle the finances, I want to do it in the way in which
That's such a pig-headed thing of saying.
Not. If you were the chef, you would have final say on all the groceries and all the spices because you're the one who's doing all the cooking.
Just because
you would do it your way. I can make mac and cheese differently than you can, but you're the chef.
But I wouldn't say, no, we have to make it my way.
You said that previously on how I cook.
Because you suck at making mac and cheese.
Okay. So I do the finances. That's something we agreed upon day one. So when we do it, I do it my way because that's the way I'm comfortable with.
You're not a board member.
You can also tell me how to tie my shoes, but I do the loop, swoop, and pull method. You could be like, oh, bunny ears, bunny ears, bunny ears, bunny ears. No, I like the loop, swoop, and pull. So I'm going to tie my shoes the way I'm most comfortable with.
Exactly. It's the way you're most comfortable with.
Exactly, because I'm in charge of tying my shoes.
But you have to get out of your comfort zone and maybe learn another way.
Not when it comes to handling our finances.
But I can understand it. How am I supposed to grow and understand finances if you won't let me and it's only your way?
You can grow and understand them. Understanding them and paying them are two different. I understand bunny ears. I like loop, swoop, and pull.
You know what? I can't wait for somebody to comment and be like, I think Priscilla has a point.
I think someone should just comment, just buy Velcro and you don't have to worry about it.
And we're done.
Slides, little toe thong.
We really are super excited to be partnering with Abond Wines for our podcast and YouTube series. I am a big supporter of local wines. I think there's so much to be said about local business, small businesses. I try and support them as much as possible. So when Abond Wines came up in my feed, I was completely hooked. I wanted to try it. And I actually went to high school with one of the owner's spouses. And so I was super excited. I reached out, I ordered 2 bottles. My husband and I had it over Valentine's Day weekend. And it really was. I got my husband hooked on wine and I just couldn't believe how smooth of a taste it was. There was no bitterness. It went down really smooth. And what's really, really great about this company is that they make it. It's all about them. They're really putting their heart and their soul into this product. They believe in the product, and I really do love Abond Wines. I appreciate their support of, this podcast and this YouTube series. They're 2 wonderful, wonderful ladies, and I am so, so glad that we are able to promote their wine. Please go out and try it. The links will be, attached to the podcast and to the YouTube. So be sure to try the Abond Wines. That's ABOND Wines. It's a great, local wine, and they do ship to Philadelphia and New Jersey. Our last topic of the day is a little bit more sports related because of our amazing guest that we have tonight.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about me. Thanks.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
What did you say?
No, dear, it's fine.
Tell me what you meant.
No, it's fine.
I don't understand what about you?
What about me? What about you?
You've never said anything. This topic has nothing to do with you.
You're right.
You are a good, wholesome, conscious man.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So tell me about what this person said.
Yes.
Is it a football player, right?
Basketball
player. Okay. My bad.
So, Miami Heat player, Meyers Leonard, was on Twitch, and he was obviously live streaming himself playing Call of Duty.
Okay.
And, stuff gets a little heated and there's a little tension playing your video games. You get
I've
angry.
I've seen you get very angry.
You
Yes.
curse, you say things, you yell things, you talk a little trash, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Meyers Leonard used the K word, the racial slur for Jews, on his Twitch, and he directly called somebody that, called him a K, which is absolutely horrible. It is basically the N word for Jews.
You know what? When you said it, when you said the K word, it's not in my vocabulary. I don't use that kind of language, so I'm guessing it's recorded and he got in trouble for this.
Well, yeah, it's live. It's Twitch.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah, Twitch is just a live platform.
I don't know
so
Twitch.
Basically, if you Twitch, you watch somebody play video games. Her tea's a little hot.
This tea is boiling.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Hot tea, everyone.
Thank you.
Got her.
Oh my God, I just burned my tongue.
So
he used this language.
He said it. He said bad language. He got fined $50,000 and he suspended 1 week from the team. Now, he makes $9.7 million this year. So $50,000 is nothing.
That's his dollar store money.
It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket.
Oh my gosh. So what's the purpose of this?
It's the NBA basically saying, hey, that's
Slap
not nice.
On the
We don't tolerate it. But at the same time, they're not going to do real punishment. If they really cared about it,
I think that's horrible.
Like Kaepernick took a knee. No one has hired him since.
I know.
And he, at that time, was better and probably still is better than some quarterbacks in the league.
And
third stringers, even some starters.
And the thing is, Colin Kaepernick was never doing it to be disrespectful.
You're right. So
he
this
never
guy
meant to hurt
does
you.
It to be mean,
yes,
to be disrespectful,
to insult somebody.
And he receives a week suspension, which I'm pretty sure he's hurt, so he can't play anyway this year. But he's still making that 9.7 guaranteed mil.
Are you kidding me?
Basketball contracts are guaranteed. It's a great sport. That's why all of your best athletes play basketball, and those who can't make it resort to football.
Is that really true?
Yeah. Like, that's why LeBron chose basketball and Iverson chose basketball. They would have been studs at football.
Wow.
But
I think that is absolutely ridiculous.
Which part?
Him using that and his punishment, quote unquote.
And Julian Edelman, wide receiver from the New England Patriots, Jewish. He's like, yo, dude, I never met you, but let's talk.
Seriously.
You need to know what that word means.
I'm glad that he wasn't upset. I'm glad he didn't say, like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not like, yo, I'm coming down to Miami. We're going to fight. He's like, hey,
let me educate you.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. I can't believe that that's such a baby little, it's legitimately a slap on the wrist.
Yes. And I haven't done the math, but $50,000 for someone
who's making $9.75
million. Yes.
That's ridiculous. And
that's just this year.
And if he's already hurt and he's not playing, I think that's such a.
Yes, he will miss the whole season because shoulder surgery. So he's not even playing this year.
It's ridiculous. I think that's because you know what, this really speaks to his character. And we spoke about Morgan Wallin.
He makes $10 million next year.
Oh my God.
21-22 season.
When you have these kinds of things in your vocabulary, look, I curse all the time, but I don't know a lot of racial slurs because it's so negative. It's unnecessary. I think it's.
Sorry, I'm reading this contract.
I know, but I need you to pay attention.
He's made a total of $50 million so far.
So 50,000 really literally means nothing. So that's why I don't understand the punishment. The punishment should have been like 1.5 mil. Oh yeah.
This tea is hot.
He made the tea tonight, and he put I guess he kept the boiling water, and it's in a Yeti, so it's never gonna cool off.
Free plug for Yeti. That stuff stays hot for life.
Oh my goodness. I think it speaks to his character. I think to use a word like that and to use it as an insult directly to somebody.
Yeah, like why are you going to that as your
your go-to insult?
Yeah, like
people will be like, you bitch.
Yeah.
That's normal. But to use that kind of language and have
to
that
go right there.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing I don't understand. Especially if you know you're live, don't you feel like you should check yourself? I understand you're in a video game. I get that.
Shannon Sharps, I think, said it best. He's in the comfort at his own home. So when you're at home, you put your feet up on the table, you walk around in your underwear.
But you're live to the world.
Yeah, but after a while, if you do that for so many times, it's just normal. Like, you don't even realize the camera's there. So he's in the comfort of his own home. You do things in your own home. You don't do in public. Right, you don't put your feet on someone else's coffee table.
But exactly, and that's what speaks to his character. If this is what you are like behind closed doors, look, I said the same thing about Morgan Wallin, the country artist.
Yes.
His music was pulled because he was recorded from his neighbor. His neighbor recorded him while he was at some girl's house, and he was using the N-word. They were completely wasted, but this speaks to your character. It speaks to who you are. And so Spotify and I think Apple pulled his music, and he had just dropped an album, I think the week before, and he apologized.
Yeah, no one was playing his music on the radio. Like, you couldn't tune in a radio station to find him.
Morgan Wallen sings the shot glass song.
You're going to have to be more specific. That's like every country song. And that's coming from me, an avid country music fan. Oh, he wrote that song about trucks and mama and God and drinking.
No, he sang line 'em up, line 'em up, line 'em up, line 'em up. Yes. So he was on the radio.
I don't remember his songs being played right after this story came out.
But that's what I'm saying. I think he released like 1 or 2 songs, and he was on the radio because I heard one of his songs. And that's how he knew about it. And then the week later, he did what he did. But this is not the first time Morgan Wallen did this. He's done this. Like, no, he's had infractions.
Troubles.
Yes. And so for me, 1 time, okay.
Yes.
2 times, okay. But after a certain time, you're just like, come on, bro. Like, you're in the public eye. People are watching you. You make all this money. Know, like, just do better. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Do better.
Now, not that this makes it any better, but he using it in a friendly, playful, with an A at the end, or was he mean, in your face with a hard R?
I'm not going to say
it's 100. Not right, but that's too
neither
different.
of them is right.
Yeah, you're right. But the one is way worse than the other.
No, they're both bad. Especially the way they're like, they both are bad, and I can't say that it's okay. Like,
because I know a lot of non-black people who use that.
Oh, we use the A.
Yes,
all the time,
and they're white or Hispanic or another. Yes. They're not black, and they say it to other people who may or may not be black, and it's.
I'm not. I don't. I really, honestly, don't want to get into this conversation because there's just so much history behind the word, and there's so many different opinions about it, and that's a whole nother discussion.
It's a whole nother episode.
It probably is. But for me, I just think that what's his name?
Morgan Wallen?
No, the basketball player.
Oh, the basketball guy.
You don't even know his name.
I exited out because we were talking about him.
Oh my gosh. What's his name?
Miles something. Meyers Leonard.
How do you not know him?
Because to me, he's not anything special.
Well, he's making that bank.
The base salary in the NBA is like $10 million.
Oh my god!
There's 15 players on the team. The salary cap's like $120 million.
We need to start playing basketball.
Yeah, I'm play like Stanley.
And that's our.
And I'm like Kevin.
And action.
Yes, and action. Welcome back to In Our Prime. We are super, super excited to be joined by our phenomenal guest who has the personality that I just pray that I can get on television.
Laugh.
Yeah, like it's awesome. It's amazing. So Marcellus Wiley Sr., is that right?
You were the senior part. Look at you.
You might I can Google. Thank you. He's an American football defensive end who played 10 seasons in the NFL. And I don't like to say former or retired because I want to put respect on athletes' names and because we are always elite and we are amazing. You are a Columbia University Hall of Fame inductee. You are an NFL All-Pro. You are the co-host of Speak for Yourself on FS1 and an author of Never Shut Up, which the name itself is just phenomenal. I would like to, welcome you to In Our Prime, Marcellus Wiley Sr.
All right. Golf claps. Golf claps. Appreciate that.
I had a show over the summer on Instagram, and I had the Instagram on my phone, and I would get iMovie so that it was like an audience, and everyone was like, that's so cool. And I can't do it now. And I'm like,
it's like being filmed in a live studio near you.
I was like, this is crap. I'm so mad. Like, I don't even got it. It's just us clapping.
Making jokes.
Now, right. A laugh track. Let's do it.
Yep.
Why not?
We ghetto up in here, but thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. We know you're on the West Coast.
Yes.
You have children that you've been taking care of. I know.
They're in there right now like, Daddy, tick tock.
Yep.
Got to take care of you guys. I got to connect with you.
Thank you so much. I know the first time that we had our interview, we were on 2 different time zones. So I'm thinking that we're at 5 p.m. and he's thinking 8 o'clock. So.
And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, well, his show's from 3 to 5 on the East Coast. So that means he's going to be doing it from the studio, or I don't know how that's going to work, that he's going to do 5 our time. We just didn't think.
Yeah. You were putting it together, Ken.
I was like, wait a minute. Like, I watch FS1 all day.
Yes.
From 7:30 in the morning till, I don't know, NASCAR comes on at 5:30 or whatever it is. Yeah, all day. Like, I teach from home, so it's.
And you didn't think to let me know that you had these thoughts?
Marital problems already.
She's home with me. She watches, right? Yeah. First things first. Skip and Shannon, Colin, you guys.
The rundown.
Yeah, every day.
It is. It's always on in our house. But thank you so much. I hope you're feeling good. My first question is, how are you enjoying 2021 so far?
2021, 3 months in so far? It's been really good.
Good.
Just still bunkered in with the family like it's day one pandemic, even though in our situation, so much has happened. This year especially, it's been great. My daughter just got admitted into Columbia for grad school.
Look at that.
Yeah. So we're super excited for
following
her.
in your footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a wild ride because it certainly wasn't planned that way. And I'm not a pressure helicopter parent.
Good for you.
I'm always supporting, but I am not pushing because you be internally motivated to do whatever you want to do. So this was her choice, and I didn't even make that special call. I didn't call up the homies that run this department and the missions. I was I got to let my daughter stand on her own, and she did, and she stood tall. I'm proud of her.
Oh, that's amazing. That's Are you going to be sad that she's across the country?
You get used to it. I got used to it, man. I remember I left to go to Columbia in 1992, and I remember my mother being adamant about not going to New York, going to Columbia. I was like, Mom, this is a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but that's just too far. And I was like, Mama, no, it doesn't matter. It's 4 years. I'll be back, and it's going to be for the rest of my life. I can reap the benefits. So you grow up not lonely, but certainly distant when you're an athlete or you have to leave the nest to go to school. So even in my professional years, I kind of got used to a few months without the family here and there. So I guess I had to pass that baton to my daughter as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish her nothing but success. What is she majoring in?
Sports marketing. So she's getting a degree in sports marketing and management. She wants to do the business side of sports. Yeah, she was a track athlete as an undergrad like you. And her times weren't as fast as yours. So she's like, okay, whatever, it's over.
But you know what? I think that's the beautiful thing is that sport teaches you a lot more off the field or off the track than inside, because I've learned so much along the journey, and that's exactly what she's doing. She's being honest and real with herself and said, how can I be successful on the other side? So I'm going to be signing the paychecks rather than receiving them. I love it. I'm big on that. Go ahead, girl.
That's true. I'm about to record, snip that, cut, paste. That's how it goes, for real. Love it.
I'm gonna throw it over to my husband. I know every time he gets so excited because I have the blue check. So he goes, hey, can you? I have a list of
here's a list of 1,000 people. Reach out, get in them DMs, and go for it.
Yeah. I got the credit card. So what we getting?
Exactly.
I love it.
So I watched your show and I reached out to you and your co-host, and
he didn't respond. I guarantee it. Okay, let me stop.
He's too busy getting ready for The Bachelor.
Hey, he's busy tonight. That's my dog. Yes, he is.
I was going to ask you about it, and I was like, I got to do more research because I wasn't sure if he was actually going to be the Bachelor or if he was going to be the host that weirdly left or took a break or something. But I'm super excited. I was so excited I knew who he was. I was like, yes, I know him. Yes, little dark chocolate. I love it. But yeah, so I'm gonna let my husband enjoy this. This is all anniversary gifts being reeled in. This is great. I'm be like, remember the time I got you Marcellus? Nick Wright? Welcome.
You got us Joy in the summer, so yeah.
I did. I'm killing it.
There it is.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. So if your Wikipedia is correct, which who knows, you were born in Compton?
Yeah, that part's correct. I don't know about everything.
Well, there's a couple things. Right? So everything I know from Compton is from, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. So the path of Compton to Ivy League doesn't seem normal. So how did that happen for you?
Oh, man. Let me sum this up. I'm from Compton pre-NWA. So pre-Ice Cube, pre-Boys in the Hood, Menace Society, all of that stuff. And obviously, growing up in Compton, there's adversity to face. I think it's been properly advertised that it was an adverse place to grow up. And it's funny how I was even born in Compton. My grandmother, my mother's mother, was in Watts, California with 6 kids. And this was right after the Watts riot. And my grandmother was like, it's too bad out here to raise my kids in Watts. I need to take them to greener pastures. So she finds a house in Compton, and it's really a neighboring city, but still a little different, especially at that time. So she packs the bags and gets the kids, and they move down the street to Compton, California, which was a safer place. Certainly at the time. You fast forward, my mother has 2 kids, very young, at 17 and 19, myself. And here I am, I'm born in Compton, and my mother has the same aspiration as her mother did. It's now pretty violent in Compton, and she wanted to move her family to greener pastures. So I stayed in Compton until I was like 5 years old. And I was always there every single weekend because my grandmother, my mother, and they were best friends. So I basically had a second home in Compton. But we moved from Compton to South Central Los Angeles. I mean, we moving on up, but we moving sideways too. We're not going anywhere. We are stuck on that ghetto treadmill. So it's all love. But basically, it was the gangs. It was the poverty. It was the drugs. All the stuff is advertised. But what's most damaging and what was most damning to me was the low ambition. So many people have been beaten up by their conditions, by their circumstances. And once I started to notice that was the most disturbing element and attribute of just growing up in my neighborhoods. It wasn't all of the stuff that's advertised fully, like in the movies and like in the music. You got to think of any neighborhood, no matter how bad it is, most of the people are good citizens. It's just a few bad apples that spoil the bunch. So that's always been my mindset. I've never looked down at my situation as a negative. It strengthened me. It gave me resiliency, and it did the same for all those who were able to survive and thrive from that circumstance.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, that's really cool.
I always, my mother was a single parent, and she did everything possible to get us to greener pastures. She always was moving us and making sure that we were in the best, safest place. And so, but you're right. You always do see how certain people take different paths. And so this is not a question, I'm sorry, that I sent to you, but how have you been able to guide your children to kind of understand where you came from and how to, I guess, have this very unique mindset of separate yourself and succeed?
Oh, that's great. As one of my kids just coming right here. Hold on one second. Yes. What's up, Biscuit? You want something? Talk to me quick, because Daddy's doing a little work. This boy doesn't care. He's like,
I love it.
Okay. Wait till Daddy comes in, and then we'll do it. Okay, as long as we don't look at him. Deal? Deal. You say hi? You say hi, Priscilla?
Yeah.
Biscuit, no, come here. Say hi. They want to say hi. This is Biscuit. This is Junior.
What's up, Junior?
Hey, buddy. How are you? Well, you are so handsome.
Say thank you.
Thanks.
Sounds like a daddy. Kind of not. All right. I see you inside, brother. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was right on time, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's
Perfectly.
perfect.
Yeah. Okay, let's repeat the question because every
Sorry,
time I just go back to
So
back.
obviously, with your background, you've overcome a lot, and you've had this this mindset of success and resiliency, and you, in my head, I feel like you've seen it, with your grandmother and your mother, and moving forward. How have you instilled that same kind of success and resilience of separating yourself from honestly like negativity and other people to find your to give that kind of mindset to your children?
Yeah. My mindset and perspective, the older I get, the more I realize that it may be a unique perspective because I'm not bitter. I remember I had a coach that said there's only two things you can do from any adversity. Your only two responses are to get bitter or get better. And I remember hearing that and realizing that no matter what comes my way, as some people want to paraphrase it, only the strong survive, or what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yep.
I also take it another step and make sure that, okay, I survived it physically, but how did I survive it mentally? And I see so many people who add up all their issues in their life, whether it's present tense or even worse, past tense, things that they actually survived. And they walk around lesser than in terms of their joy and their attitude. And they're basically walking around on thin ice, waiting to snap. And it's crazy because growing up, I witnessed that. The reason I don't act hard is because I had it hard growing up. And once you really lived a hard life, the last thing you want to do is continue to live a hard life.
Absolutely.
I'm telling y'all, every time I see somebody acting hard, I swear in my mind, I'm like, he a fraud. She faking. Because you don't go back to that place.
Yeah.
Because no one chose to be in that place in the first place. So
and the whole purpose was for us to grow, right? You want to get better. That's the whole purpose. Like get out, get out the hood, get out this lifestyle. But why are you still taking it? That is so. You right there. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. I am there. So when it comes to my children and their perspective, I make sure that they understand that one of the fallacies, I think, is that if you're from an adverse background, poor background, from the hood, that you're hungrier than people who are not from that. And I've always challenged that because the rich get richer and success begets success. So when people talk about, oh man, how your kids gonna have the same drive you had when they don't need for the same things you need it for, I say, wait a minute, dog, you forget that most people in my situation don't make it. Most of the people in my situation growing up don't make it out because it eats its own. So if you look at it, and I didn't know this growing up, I was just like everybody else. Yeah, man, when I get older, I don't know what my kids gonna do because I'm gonna be rich and famous, and then my kids gonna be spoiled and they might be hooked on some craziness because they never gonna know reality. And then I went to Columbia and I started to see second, third, fourth generation success. Yeah. Like everyone on the outside kept saying, oh, these rich kids, they all spoiled and don't work hard. And I was like, I don't know who y'all talking about. My classmates in here grinding, Yes. And then being real, a lot of my friends growing up, because of the circumstances, the dynamics, the lack of leadership, or the fact that they didn't know who to follow or what to follow, a lot of them were caught up in that same dynamic and didn't realize their dreams. So I just started to scratch my head. I was like, everybody told me that the broker you are, the hungrier you are. But in reality, I'm seeing too many people with big bellies still want to eat even more. So with my kids, long story short, the last thing I'm going to let them believe is that since you have it, you don't want it. That's a damn lie. Because if that was the case, why would anyone in college who's been the man or the woman, you got recruited. I mean, I could have went to a lot of big schools. If it was only about I need adversity to grow, then why would I even go from the collegiate level to the pro level? If it was only about adversity to grow, how come when I got paid, I got even better? It's not just about adversity. It's about an inner drive. I like to call it the hardware. And in life, you got to program your hardware properly. Like equip yourself to deal with the software of this world. Because a lot of the software of this world is going to plug into exactly who you are in mental dynamics of hardware. So basically, long story short, my kids ain't believing that BS. They know that if you want it, go get it. Because if it is to be, it is up to me.
Damn. That was powerful. That was amazing.
That was damn impressive.
I know you, I mean, this is obviously what you do, but you're amazing. That was great. I can't wait to cut that little clip. I'll be like, wait, he about to drop some gems out here.
Motivational speaker.
Yes. I do all these motivational speaking events, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is so great. You're amazing. Absolutely. I'm sorry. It's your turn now. We only have 2 more questions, and then we're done.
Oh, love it. I love it.
We in and out. We got this.
Oh man, so many. So what was your schedule like as a high school student athlete? Because you did football, you did track. Were you at the gym 6 a.m.? Were you lifting until 8 o'clock at night? How did you become that dude and able to, lift a weights, full ride, Columbia? How did you balance all that work, schoolwork, everything like that?
Wow. My schedule, it was a lot, man. It was daunting. And I went through 2 different phases. So my entire life growing up, I went to public school until my 11th grade year. I switched schools. So I went to Westchester High School for 2 years. Basically, I think Westchester, big program, big school, big personalities. Everything was big at Westchester. So I just stayed at Westchester for 2 years, thinking my talents at this school with this big platform, so many guys that went pro, so many guys were getting college letters and recruited, that it was going to work out for me. But then somewhere in my sophomore year, I started to realize that a lot of the people that were there weren't thinking in the same ways of their future that I was. A lot of them had a short-sighted goal, not a long-term view on how life was going to be. And that was the first thing that made me say, whatever, I'm not switching schools because some of my friends are not thinking beyond high school, but it caught my eye. And now, simultaneously, I got recruited to go to Westchester. I got recruited to go to high school because I was like this little Pop Warner sensation. I humbly say that. But I was balling in Pop Warner.
Yes.
I was balling.
Yes, it's confidence.
Yeah,
like
so they were
of Zion in high school where it's just like
not that a lot less than that, but no, to the point that people knew who I was and were after me. I get to Westchester. I had some Osgood slaughters to my knees, some knee issues. So maybe I had a little off my fastball, but more importantly, I started to watch a lot of the ills that were happening in my neighborhood, were happening at school, shootings and stabbings and fights and everybody trying to ditch school. And just, I was like, damn, what's going on? So anyway, I'm still getting recruited to go to other schools, and I'm getting recruited. Meanwhile, having some difficulties at this school. And I just said, you know what? One of my father's friends was the coach at the school I transferred to, St. Monica's. And he was just like, look, over here, it's a different mindset. It's a different culture. And also, we're really focused on the next level, getting you into college and trying to make you a greater citizen and greater student. So I took the leap. And to your point, to your question about my schedule, because I switched schools, all of a sudden I'm going from South Central to Santa Monica every day. So what did that mean? It meant getting up at 4:30 in the morning with my mother, who was a postal employee at the Santa Monica post office, who had to be at work at 6. So she took her son to school every day. I'm at school at 6 a.m. no later. And I'm there before the custodians. I'm there before the school is even open. So at first, I was just pitying myself. I threw a pity party, maybe for a week, just sitting there like, I'm up before the damn sun. What's going on? You know what I mean? And then something clicked. It's like, look, this time is going to evolve. This time is going to elapse and spin, no matter how you spin it. So I started to realize that I got about an hour, 2 hours before everyone packs to school. Let me get some work done. And that's when things really started to work out for me, not only on the field, but in terms of me having a laser focus in the classroom. So, you know, most kids, you get up 6, 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
get to school right before the first bell, and then you just ready to go. I was already warmed up, already prepped, and already focused for my day because I had those 2 hours before. And I stopped having that pity party, and I started to take advantage of every single moment I had. So my story and my schedule was basically 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. I had to study and just take advantage of that. Regular school hours, regular practice session. But then after that, my dad, who was a postal employee, would have to pick me up after work. And that was at 8 p.m. So I'm not lying to y'all when I say I was at school from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day my last 2 years of high school.
Wow.
Man,
And
did
I
they
would
give him
definitely...
keys? You locked the place down?
I found ways in without keys. Let's just say that. I kept some of my good hood.
That's crazy. That is a whole nother level of...
That's commitment.
Well, the thing is, you have to figure... You're right.
Make it work.
After a while, you sit around and you're like, okay, well, I'm bored now. So there's got to be something I can do. And you found it. So that's amazing. I love that story. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's
you know
crazy.
What's funny? Let me give you a short story that happened in the 8th grade. So I'm talking 11th and 12th grade.
Yes.
In the 8th grade, I took an elective, typing. And everyone in that class just took it for an easy A.
Yep.
So I'm in line like everybody else. Yeah, I'm going to take typing, whatever. I'm going to give me my A, I'm out. And I remember the first month, everyone's typing like 30 words a minute. Like, you know, basically looking at the home keys. Everybody just chomping away. And then riding home, I remember it's the same route home. I'm looking at the same cars playing bingo or contact. I don't know if y'all play those games where you look at the car and be like, that's my car, bingo, contact. And then somebody else try to beat you to the car. So you imaginary hood games. Anyway, so I'm over there like, that's my car, bingo, contact. And I'm doing that in the same typing class. And then one day it clicked. It was like, dog, you staring out the window every single day at the same stuff. Why don't you work on your typing mentally? And so I knew what the home keys were mentally. So what I started to do, no lie, is look outside as we're driving by, and I would start to type what I saw. So I would see Slauson, and I type it out in my head. Then I see Crenshaw, type it out in my head. I see Liquor Store, I type it out in my head. Yeah, I see Boulevard, I type it out. Everything I started to see, I just start typing out in my head. Fast forward. Next month, everyone's typing 30, 35. I'm at 45. Fast forward another month or two. They're at 40, 45. I'm at 70. I'm not telling anybody my secret sauce.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
In a way, the point of the story was I ended up being a national champion in typewriting because everywhere I went, I was like maniacal in terms of just typing out everything I saw. And all my classmates were like, dog, how the hell you learn to type so damn fast? And I never really told them in the moment, like, because I never stopped working on it. So I've always had that one tucked away in my mindset and psyche. So when I went to St. Monica's, my 11th grade year, it clicked pretty fast that I should take advantage of all my time.
I love that you have such a different mindset than other people. Like, it's just, you just took it a different way. You took it a different perspective. It's a different point of view. I love it. I think it's amazing.
82 words per minute. 1988 champ. So your is accurate. I was like, man, someone's trying to play. Is he really a typewriting champ?
I never would have thought that.
You don't see that on a Pro Bowl or Ivy League, resume.
Or with these fingers anymore. That was back then. Look at them now.
Is that from football?
Well, it ain't from cooking. Yeah.
It ain't from typing.
It ain't from typing. Hell yeah, it's from football.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That is definitely crazy. I mean, we saw you earlier with the what was it? What pads? I use them all the time. I can't think of it right now.
Stem?
Oh, the stem machine. Yeah, yes. People out there, yes. Even retired, we still stay hooked up.
That's so good. Oh Lord.
We used to have Theragun like every night.
I know. I mean, I'm still in this prime, so I'm still in it. So I love it. My coach is like, you ever take an ice bath? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't think today's that day. I don't think I'm feeling it. I don't think that's what Jesus wants. The last question we have for you, and it's the question that we ask everybody. It's pretty much our whole show. Do you feel like you are in the prime of your life?
Woo. No.
Okay.
I don't. Prime of my life. Howie Long described this pretty well in terms of the prime of a football player, but I'm going to translate that to the prime of an individual and a person in life. So Howie Long said that when you first start football as a rookie in the NFL, you're at your physical prime because you're young, you're strong, you can lift the entire weight room, you know. So he said your elevator is way up here in terms of your prime. But then he said, you really don't know that much. You thought you did. You did in college, but now you're around some grown men who know not only what is told to them, but they've learned through experience how to make it applicable to them. So your physical prime, you're up here, and your mental prime, you're down here. And he says, as you play, the elevators start to come together to right here is your prime. You know, mid-20s or so, you're still physically gifted and can run around and lift the weight room, but you're not 21 anymore doing those things. But boy, your aptitude, your acumen, your understanding of things that are demanded of you is greater, and you're right there. That's what he described football in terms of prime. To take that to the real world, there are so many things that come my way, and it feels like it's every day, but certainly when I do like a month-to-month assessment, the clarity, the wisdom, the knowledge, just me self-correcting, just like in a football game in the first quarter, I try to do my best move and it didn't work. But then I'm starting to think, okay, how do I change my move? How do I do this move in a different circumstance and make it work? Do I have to wait to the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? What circumstance is going to be best for this to work? That's what's happening to me right now. It feels like in my real world experience, whether it's me as a husband, me as a father of four, like I'm learning so much more about myself and applying that to the world that I can't say I'm in my prime. Now, my ego is like, yeah, you're in your prime, dog. You done did this, you done did that. Man, stop playing. But, you know, like Mark Twain said, life's a competition between you and yourself. So I'm not out here on the track running in lane 2 and 3 and 4. I got one lane and I'm trying to be the best version of that guy in that lane. So I look forward to greater things, whether that's in accomplishment or greater things in terms of just actually knowing what I want before I get there and getting the most out of that same thing. So not yet, but I'm steadily approaching it.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I love everybody's answer because everybody's it's so different, but I loved your answer and that, I like the elevator. It's true. I feel like as we try, I mean, look, we're married. We feel like yesterday we were in the prime of our life and now we're like, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Boo boo. We're working on it. But I truly appreciate you coming on the show. I hope you had a good time. I hope we didn't annoy you too much.
It was so good. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna get my little and that's a wrap with Marcellus Wiley.
Right. All pro, valedictorian, typing champion. You know, what can he do?
Oh, that's
love. Thank you. Man. Like I'm gonna